Hey guys, this is Comic Uno and LRM Online, and today I'm doing Comic Uno's Weekly Roundup Episode 3. So, just want to say, if you guys have any comments about the things I'm talking about, please leave them in the comments below. We love comments. So, of course, I have some news, got some TV show stuff to talk about, and some comics. So, let's start out with the news. This is kind of a lighter news week, so it's kind of a hunt to find news stories, but let's get started. First, I want to talk about Spider-Gwen to show up on Ultimate Spider-Man. So, I don't usually watch Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm just not a fan, and I do believe that this is targeted for kids, and that's okay. Not every animated show has to be for adults. Marvel has adult programming, and shows that, you know, families can enjoy, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I'm okay with Ultimate Spider-Man being a little kiddier, but that doesn't mean I have to watch it. But now, with this new season, I'm actually really intrigued to see what they will do with Spider-Gwen. Hopefully, dig into her origin story. I want a whole episode about her. This is her first animated appearance, first TV appearance. Hopefully it's more than just, I'm Spider-Gwen, let's fight something. So I will definitely be checking it out and probably doing a review for it on my channel. And it seems like one of the Disney Channel stars is going to be voicing the character, and I was looking on Twitter, she seems really excited about it. So glad to see some passion behind the character for the voice actress. Now, next thing is that Prez is going to have a one-shot. So we kind of knew this already. It was announced, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. But now we know a little bit more about it. It's going to take place in the DC Universe and also have a co-writer. We're going to have the regular writer who wrote the miniseries and also one of my favorite writers, Meredith Finch. So very excited about this. Meredith Finch worked on Wonder Woman and also Grimm Fairy Tales Little Mermaid. If you haven't checked out those runs, go check it out. But yeah, with Prez, I love the miniseries. It was definitely up my alley, and I'm excited to see how Catwoman is going to intertwine with Prez. What are these two characters going to do with each other? What do they have related with each other? Because Prez, like I said, is kind of this Elseworld type story. It felt like it didn't really have much to do with the DC Universe, so it's interesting they're going that route for this one-shot. And I think it's coming out in November, which is during the elections, so definitely makes a lot of sense. Now, moving on to the next topic, which is The Fault in Our Stars writers join the New Mutants movies. So, we still don't have a lot of details on New Mutants, but it's cool that we do have the writers announced, and I actually liked the movie Fault in Our Stars. I thought the actors were great in it, and I had a fun time with the movie, and it definitely has that teen drama vibe that I think New Mutants need. So I think the writers definitely fit for this franchise of X-Men. And even though I'm not a huge New Mutants fan, for some reason I'm looking forward to this movie. Now next is the Morning Glories artist, Joe Eisma is going to be joining Archie with issue 13. I am a big fan of Joe Eisma's artwork. I am a huge fan of Morning Glories, and I'm also a big fan of this current run of Archie. So there's so much love coming into this news piece. So I am really, really excited about this one. I think Joe Eisma's artwork fits the tone of a high school story, which is why it fits so perfectly for Morning Glories. Yeah, I think Archie just kind of keeps getting better and better. So now the artwork's going in a really cool direction. Now moving on to our last news piece, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster to replace the Universe of Energy in Disney World. So if you guys don't know, I am a huge Disney fan, and I go to Disney World probably at least once a year. So I've been to Disney World a lot. And I like the Universe of Energy, not because it's a good ride, but because it's a nostalgic ride. It's Ellen, it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's really dated. But I remember when I was a kid, I just had a lot of fun going on it, and I think for that reason, I'm going to miss the nostalgia-ness. But with Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if it fits Epcot in, like, the theme of Epcot, but sure, why not? I think Epcot definitely needs some more thrill rides. We do have, like, Soaring, which is not really a thrill ride. Test Track, I guess, and Mission Space are the two big thrill rides, so it's cool that they're getting a roller coaster. Now, this is all kind of rumors, not really confirmed, but I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. So that's all the news for this week. Going into TV shows. Now, sorry I did not see a movie this week, because I have nothing to say about that. Again, it's been a while since Suicide Squad, since I've been able to go to the theater. And also, I just haven't really been interested in any movies coming out lately. But let's move on to some TV shows, because you guys know I love to binge stuff. Now, I just currently binged the current season of Pretty Little Liars. So the finale is going to be airing this Tuesday, and yes, I've been watching Pretty Little Liars probably since like season 4. I binged all 4 seasons during a summer, and it's fun. There are parts that, you know, I feel like it's kind of jumped the shark a little, but it's still a fun show, and I think the show really picked up in the end of the season, because honestly, I was behind on Pretty Little Liars. Usually you know, every Tuesday I watch the episode, but again, I just kind of was behind because I wasn't really interested in the arc they were presenting in the beginning of the season, but I really picked up with these last couple episodes, and hopefully the finale will give us some stuff to speculate about. Also, on Comic Frontline, we are going to have a Media Madness for this on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time if you're interested with our Pretty Little Liars theories. Now, moving on to the comic books from this week. So, talking about the pick of the week for this week's comics, I will say this week was kind of just a solid week. It wasn't bad, but there wasn't many books that blew me away. But I will say I was very impressed with International Iron Man issue 6, which was my pick of the week. Now, International Iron Man hasn't really made my pick of the week in recent, I don't think ever actually, just because I felt like, oh, it's ending, like how is this tied into Civil War? But I think Brian Michael Bendis did a really good job at the dialogue. He's kind of the master of dialogue, in my opinion, for comics. And I like that we didn't know who these people were until the end, and that's kind of what made this book refreshing. And I like the way they did the storytelling for this book. So I enjoyed it, and that was my pick of the week. So moving on to my top 3 anticipated books for the upcoming week. So we'll go 3 to 2 to 1, and number 3 is All New Wolverine Annual Issue 1. You know, I just saw a preview on this on Comic Vine, and I was already excited for this book because Tom Taylor, Spider-Gwen, Wolverine interacting with each other, and Tom Taylor writing all these characters, not that Tom Taylor's in the book. But yeah, I was really excited for it, and then I read the preview, and it's them switching bodies, and we have like Spider-Gwen, which is actually Wolverine, punching a hole into her drums. Wolverine, who's actually Spider-Gwen, swinging in the sky and talking about how her bones are healing. It was like 3 pages of magic, and I just can't wait to read this book. There was actually a lot of cool Marvel books coming out this coming week. There are some of my fan favorites. I wanted to add Ms. Marvel. That would have been an honorary mention. But number 2 is The Astonishing Ant-Man issue 11, which I think is a really under-the-radar series that no one really talks about, but should be talking about. I love the dynamic between Cassie and Scott. Cassie's one of my favorite characters, so it's great to see her in the spotlight, and I'm excited to see how she's gonna react to her father being in jail and what that kind of means for her character as a hero or a villain. Now moving on to my number 1 pick, which is Spider-Gwen issue 11. Probably one of my favorite series right now, and definitely my favorite series from Marvel. I love this character, and I like the direction it's going with Gwen Stacy having to just be Gwen Stacy, not having abilities, but she still has this responsibility. Is like, no, I need to be Spider-Gwen if I can be. And I do want to hopefully see the Mary Janes just to kind of figure out, do they know she's Spider-Gwen? They kind of left that on a cliffhanger a couple issues back. But those are my 3 most anticipated books. Let me know in the comments below, what are your books you're looking most forward to. And this is Comic Uno, and hopefully you enjoyed this weekly roundup. Of course, next week I will have another weekly roundup, and hopefully you guys enjoy.